Well, put aside the drag queen stuff. We protect everything of value with firearms. We protect money with firearms. We protect politicians with firearms. Why can't we protect our children with firearms?
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't think, and you might disagree with me on this one. I don't know. But I don't think more guns make us safer. I think if that was the case, we'd be one of the safest countries in the world. Here's what I will tell you. This year, not one child has ever died from a drag queen reading. Not one. Okay? And I don't have a problem with security at schools. I don't have a problem with armed security, and there are some armed security guards at schools. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with, so many people that are on the far right that think we should be arming our kindergarten teachers and our schools should look like a war zone with people with AR-15s on their backs every single day. I think that's a little bit much, and I don't think more guns make us safer. 702-221-7283. Let's go to James. James is next up on PTL. Hello, James.
Hey, what's up, Brian? How you doing, man?
Hey, okay. What's on your mind, my friend?
Here's the thing. A gun ban's not going to help nothing. I just want to know why can't, I just want to point out not one politician was harmed today during that school shooting. Not one.
Well, you're right, but let me ask you a question. Let's have a conversation about this, because if we disagree, that's okay. So you said gun bans won't help. Are you aware of the assault weapons ban in the early 90s? Are you aware of that one?
Not exactly. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so Democrats helped put forth with Bill Clinton an assault weapons ban that worked. What do I mean by it worked? Well, if you look at where gun violence was when the bill was enacted to where it fizzled out, gun violence went way down. If I recall, it went down somewhere around 35%. And then Republicans allowed that bill to fizzle out. And then what happened? Gun violence went back up. I'm not saying one bill is going to solve all of our problems. I'm not saying one bill is going to end all the gun violence in this country. But I do disagree with you in this sense that if you pass an assault weapons ban, it will save lives. Why would you be against that?
Well, can you define assault weapon?
See, here we go again. Okay, so you want to get into, so let's get into, you want to get into the weeds with me on what's an assault weapon. But here's the question I will ask.
No, I'm saying what differentiates it from any other weapon.
Sure, because you can kill more people in a shorter period of time, hence the word weapon of war. Example, why is it in so many of these mass shootings? It could be the mass shooting in Las Vegas, it could be Columbine, it could be Sandy Hook, it could be Uvalde. Why is the weapon of choice always a high-capacity magazine? Why are they not using a pistol or a knife? Why is it always a high-capacity magazine weapon that can shoot a ton of people in a short period of time? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Sounds like a great talking point.
No, it's not a talking point. It's called fact. I'm asking you a question and you can't answer it. I'll repeat it again.
I am answering it. What difference? Okay, what difference does it make if it's a high capacity AR-15?
I'll tell you what the difference is.
Or a regular Glock?
It doesn't
matter. Semi-automatic's a semi-automatic.
Okay, so first of all, nothing I'm saying.
You can't even define the difference.
I'm going to answer right now and I'm going to define it. Okay. And by the way, nothing I say on this show is a talking point. I would assume, like me, can I finish my sentence, sir? I would assume you and me both agree that we don't want innocent people to die. Okay, let's start there where we agree on. Can we agree there? We don't want innocent children. Okay, good. We start in a good place. Now, we might disagree with how we get there, but let me ask you a question, because I've come up with a bunch of different things we can do, okay, to save lives. We need red flag laws, stronger on the books. We need to raise the age from 18 to 21. There needs to be mandatory training on how to use these weapons. And yes, I believe an assault weapons ban, the ban in the early 90s, which you were unaware of, but you're still against banning it, that I explained, I think that would help, okay? Now, I gave you 4 solutions. Give me 2 of those 4. It'll save lives.
Well, if that assault weapon ban worked, why are we still here?
Sure.
If that worked,
such a good answer.
Hold on. Was
that a rhetorical question? Because I can answer that in a second.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It was rhetorical.
Okay. I don't do rhetorical questions. Thank you. You asked me a question. I'm going to answer it. Why are we here? Because Republicans allowed that bill to fizzle out in the early 90s. Republicans care more about their A-plus rating from the NRA than actually putting comprehensive background checks on the books, which 85% of Americans are for. We are here because Republicans fail to act. It's not going to end all the gun violence in this country. But here's the problem with this call. And you seem like a nice guy. We both want the same thing. We just disagree how we get there. So now I gave you 4 or 5 solutions that I think would work.
I got you right here.
Okay, so give me some.
Protect the children like these politicians are protected.
Okay, but that's
There
not a
should be
policy.
let me finish.
That's
Let
not
me finish.
That's not a policy.
Yes. Nobody could go. Look what happened to all those people who protested at the Capitol. Nobody was armed. People can go to a school and shoot children.
Hold on. First of all, you haven't named me a policy. Saying protect children is not a policy. That's number one.
No, look, listen. This needs to be a policy because it's not one. It's a lack thereof.
What needs to be a policy?
The schools.
Okay.
The schools need to be protected.
How?
Just as much as the Capitol building.
Okay.
Period.
So
banning guns is not going to do that.
Okay. So you haven't given me any specific policies that you would like the Republicans and Democrats to agree upon. When you make a statement like
do away with the Department of Education. If we cannot protect public schools, we don't need them.
So let me understand this.
Make it private. A private school will protect their children.
Okay, let me understand this.
Because they don't rely upon the government.
I gave you 4 or 5 different policies. You think what would lower the gun violence in this country is getting rid of the Department of Education. By the way, I also tell you that there have been some private schools where gun violence has happened as well. So you're wrong about that. So getting rid of the Department of Education will dramatically lower gun violence in this country. What about all the malls? What about all the parades where there's been shootings? What about all
you could think of anything where there's mass gatherings.
So what are your solutions? Give me a solution. You haven't given me anything except get rid of the Department of Education.
My solution is America, take your Second Amendment to heart. Like, this shit is important. That's my solution.
Okay, so your solution is, I just want to backtrack here. Your solutions are get rid of the Department of Education and let's be pro-Second Amendment. Are you serious, sir? Are you a serious person?
I'm absolutely serious.
Well, those aren't real solutions. Getting rid of the Department of Education isn't going to lower the gun violence in this country.
Fighting them off like that as if they're not, as if you always do this. Like you just got all the answers, bro. You support the Democratic Party.
Excuse me. Okay, so first of all, don't swear on my show, okay? Second of all, you're a MAGA deplorable. You swear on this show. You're a bird for brains. You have a very low IQ. You call into this show. I try to have a reasonable conversation with you. I give you 4 or 5 solutions that I think would work. We don't have to agree on everything. We don't have to agree. But then all of a sudden, when I ask you for solutions, your solutions are some of the dumbest things I've ever heard anybody say on this show. Get rid of the Department of Education and let's all be pro-Second Amendment. You're a Trump supporter. You defend those people on January 6th. I heard that comment you made. You think getting rid of the Department of Education in a private school would lower the gun violence in this country? That's the problem with you MAGA deplorables. I can't have a conversation with you because your IQ is too low. Let's get rid of the Department of Education. That'll protect our kids. And let's all preach Second Amendment. Well, those are great solutions, sir. Thank God you're not a policymaker. Holy cow. Let me be very clear. This guy who just called into the show is the guy who has his MAGA flag in front of his mobile home next to his Confederate flag with 3 teeth, who has never been to a dentist before and has no college education and has no idea what he's talking about. Thank you so much for the call, sir, and thank you for making my point. It's people like you that are the reason why we can't get Republicans to pass proper gun legislation because idiots like you keep voting for them.